welcome to Mediums in Action with me, Martin Litt-Wilson, and my good friend and expert medium, Ian Doherty.
Hello, Martin. It's nice to be chatting to you. I hope you're safe and well and looking at yourself in a positive way within this COVID. And hello to everybody who's listening.
And same with you, Ian. It's really weird with this lockdown seems tougher for me compared to last year. I kind of struggled with the first one, but I think we're in that third, aren't we? Is it third or fourth?
16th, I think.
We all merge into it, but it's interesting. One of the key factors, I think, what I saw last summer and kind of what people are saying now is these really vivid sort of pandemic dreams.
Yeah.
These really weird ones. I had a really weird dream. Well, I've had loads in this last sort of month where I had one. And it was so realistic that I went on holiday with my wife, and my kids weren't with me, and we stayed in a skyscraper, and the bed was, and we were sat there eating and sat on the bed, and the bed was kind of tilted on the edge of on the skyscraper. There was a piece of glass, so I knew I was safe, but we were sat there talking, looking out on like a Central Park type sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then afterwards I thought, what was that about? Do you know, it was kind of, what was it? What was that about? Do you know, there was just like a sense of danger, but there wasn't no danger. I was protected. And I'm sure it must have been something to do with, again, the pandemic. You know, I feel safe at home, but also I feel there's a sense of danger.
Well, that would sort of come up to me. The first things is trying to elevate yourself above it all, trying to raise yourself above any perceived negativity, knowing you're safe within your own mind, but still thinking it's fine, I am safe, but are other people safe around me? That's what you're looking at, looking out over everything, but rising yourself above, wanting to make sure that you and your family naturally are all safe. You know, bear in mind, like I said, that COVID can be rife in some places, can't it?
Okay, so that seemed like a COVID type related dream.
I would have thought so.
So how do you explain this one? Are you ready for this? Okay.
Come on then.
So this one was last week and really came out of the blue. So I had an invite from the traveller side of my family, the travellers Romanis. Okay.
Yeah.
I had an invite. And to go to Ryan, who's my cousin, to go to his house just on the outskirts of Rhyl. There's a hill as you go into Rhyl, and that's where he lives. Okay, so we went over there and went to his house. This is like a couple of days before he got married. Met his future wife. We'd met her before. And he was showing me all these things that he'd made. There was a room and there was like, he'd carved it out of wood and it looked like trees and all. Absolutely amazing. Stunning stunning craftsmanship.
Yeah.
And while we were there, his dad turned up. I went, oh, hi, Martin, that sort of thing. And I said, oh, hi. And I said, yeah. He said, why hadn't you been over for so long? And I said, well, I saw Ryan last year at Blackpool. I said, what? They said, yeah, when Ryan was playing football, and Ryan's in the background kind of going, no, don't say anything. So, you know, he shouldn't have been in Blackpool. So this is all a dream, just to remind you. So then the next day, it was his wedding, and we went to his wedding. It was just on the outskirts of Rhyl, this massive place, and it was just amazing. His bride came in on a small horse-drawn coach and horses, all in white. She had this massive dress that lit up. It was an amazing wedding, absolutely fantastic. Like the Romanis, it was all, you know, kind of full on. There was a lot of you know, you can kind of imagine that it was, you know, quite garish but fun. It was kind of amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing. And I woke up. There's one problem with that dream.
Yeah.
I don't have any traveling relations at all.
Yeah.
Ryan doesn't exist. Dar doesn't exist. I have no travelers or Romany relations at all. All of that was nonsense. But yeah.
But it's it's
I
still,
dreamt it. It was
yeah, still,
absolutely
yeah.
so realistic. As I'm talking to you, I can strongly feel and sense the room that he showed me that he'd carved.
Yeah. Now the runes would be to do with you. So if you have a dream like that, you need to take notice of those things because there could be a little message with you there. So if you can recall it in your mind during meditation, see what's carved on there. Okay. Now this is still a COVID dream. It's getting away from it. Same as the tower is going up. This is getting away from rather than rising above. The travellers, you can look at it as putting two and two, perhaps come up before and saying, I want to travel, I want to get out of things, making new friends, new people. I mean, really, it's brilliant. I used to go holiday in there. That was my local beach, because where you were saying there, that little hill, it's about 7 miles from Rill. There's a nice little castle on the right hand side of it as well. When you're looking at it, it's wanting to celebrate. There's people getting married. You want to, oh, great, it's all going nice. You're looking at it being of a situation as well, with just meeting newer people, even though you felt connected to them. So it's reconnecting people that maybe you've forgotten about. You know what I mean? So I still feel it's a COVID, but getting away from rather than rising above.
It's amazing how vivid it was, though,
Yeah.
and looking at other people, they've had really, kind of really, again, quite bizarre, but extremely vivid dreams where every detail is seemingly remembered. Just what quick thing as well is the last time I went to Rill, I've been twice. The first time I can't remember because I was about 3 or 4, and I went about 8, and I have no recollection at all. So I didn't even know there was a hill. If there is a hill going into Rill, I never knew. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's when you go over that hill, it says Rill 7 miles, and then there's a little castle on the right hand side.
Never knew that. No. I didn't even know there was a hill in Rill. As far as I know, no. I the closest I've been close to there is Bodelwithan Castle, and it seems very flat because it's kind of it all seems very. So I actually thought the detail that a hill was out on the outskirts of Rill. That's weird.
Yeah, but in that time, before they built the A55, you would have had to have gone by what I'd term as the back roads, and that's where the hill is.
Ah, right. How bizarre. Yeah. I'll have to go on the map and see where he lived.
Yeah,
there might be some psychic connection thing going off as well. There's probably some poor craftsmanship, Ryan having a weird dream about this medium appearing in his dreams. Did you have vivid dreams or?
Actually, no. I was, if anything, I've had some of the best sleep I've had for ages. I sleep well anyway, in all honesty. But yeah, I've been spark out.
I'm normally the same, Ian. To be honest, I kind of fall asleep and I'm kind of, but I wonder. I think what seems to be happening is the reason why we're so remembering a lot of this is possibly because we're quite anxious. Do you think?
Yes, definitely. But the thing is, according to the sleep research centres, generally we have anywhere from around 6 dreams a night. The place you want to look at, Martin, just looking on the map, is a place called Rhuddlan, which is RHUDDLAN, Rhuddlan. That's where the hill is, and that's where the castle is, Rhuddlan Castle.
Excellent. I'll see if there's a row of houses nearby, because that's what he was in. So, yeah. But no, I think it's one of those things where, as you say, you have possibly. Did you say 3 to 6? Did you? Or sorry.
It's looking at a thingy here. According to the National Sleep Foundation, typically 4 to 6 times a night.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've seen a stat where it says that the reason why we forget our dreams is usually we will forget our dream within 3 seconds of waking. Yeah. It's only if we remember it during that period of time we will actually permanently kind of remember it. So it's interesting. Sometimes I know a family member who says they never dream. They've never dreamed, which I think is physically impossible. I think we just don't remember it because You actually, the whole point of these dreams is kind of a bit of a mirror of your psyche, isn't it?
Yes, but there also, there's also on, whichever film you watch, of course, but it puts over, if you don't dream, as in you don't have the rapid eye movement sleep, then they tend to die. You just die. It was one of the tortures, sleeping, walking a person, didn't let them sleep, carried on walking, and they die within a couple of days, unless they give you the details you want, of course.
Do you know, kind of with these vivid dreams and everything? I mean, we've kind of semi touched on it, but I mean, how accurate would you say are the chances that if you've experienced spirit in your dreams, or somebody who's passed away in your dreams, would you say you have to have an air of caution, or how do you feel?
No, it's the way that I've always seen it, and the way that I've talked to people and they've seen it. They always go back to a time in their own childhood. The people who've passed over are still passed over, but you go back to a time. It could be. It doesn't necessarily mean the first house you were brought up in, but generally you will go back to your mum or your dad's house, or your uncle's house, or whoever it is who's talking, and you'll be sat there. You'll think, all nice and comfortable. You're thinking, all the feelings that come back flooding from your own memories, and then the door opens and that person walks in. There's no fear. It's all, hello, and you're pleased to see them. You have a talk. And I would say, if you're having this type of dream, ladies and gentlemen, try to wake yourself up. Give yourself the auto cue, of waking yourself up before, when you're having a dream, and you will recall what your loved one is wanting to say to you. So they're very, very vivid. It's not just seeing your face fleetingly pass through your eyes, which is a very, very, very commonality, but it's when you are sat with a loved one. Normally it's in that loved one's house and associated with you when you were happiest, whether that's when you were 15, when you were 7, or when you're 32. It'll be when you're at your happiest with that person, and that is in a way to stop the anxiousness of your conscious mind waking you up thinking, oh my God, but this person's dead. And then you get that full message, the feelings. You often wake up feeling refreshed. You feel, oh my God, that was beautiful. I can't remember the dream, but I feel so good, because you've talked to your loved one who you've been missing. So they're very real.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you look at, there's a lot of people who say, well, I dreamt of somebody who passed away. What was it them coming back and telling me? And I think the thing is you could say, well, some of it is psychological, but
yeah,
it's interesting if you look into this, and I'm very much into kind of tantric and yoga practices, and look at kind of different beliefs. I always remember Krishna Das, who is a wonderful American musician, who dreamt that he would be meeting this guru. This is before he'd even gone to India. And he went to India, and this guru was there and changed his life, and a guy called Ramdas as well. Mm-hmm. And just an incredible spiritual person. And I was watching, I watch his satsangs, which are like a almost like a weekly ceremony sort of thing. He sings kirtan, which is a way of singing, chanting in Indian. He was saying, somebody wrote in and said, well, I've had a dream of this guru that you met, Baba. I forgot his name, but and he said, did I really experience it? And he said to me, if you've been lucky enough to experience either a loved one who's passed, or whether a guru or a famous person, if you've dreamt them, then just be thankful that they came and visited you. And I quite like that. I kind of think
it's nice.
It's not for us to really say, oh, it was just a dream. What you do have to say is, I had that dream, and I have to be thankful for that dream.
Indeed, yeah, indeed.
And carry it with you, because sometimes, as you say, is that these dreams can be just like a warm hug from spirit. That's what I would say. Yeah,
it is. But there's a lot of the time people ask, why don't you speak to me in my dreams? The answer to it is, during the waking hours, your physical, your brain, your conscious element is just so busy. The brain is doing so many things. Like if you think about driving your car, you've got to manage the steering wheel. You're observing absolutely everything. You're hearing everything on the radio. You're changing gear without realizing you're doing it. The muscles in the back of your, in your neck that's keeping your head upright are working, relaxing. Others are coming in, relaxing, then others come back over. Your eyes are darting. You're talking thousands of eye movements just constantly looking what is going. So the brain's active. So therefore, hearing thought from spirit is not going to happen. Well, it may be happening, but it just doesn't get through because the brain's too noisy, so you don't recognize it. So really, when you're flat out in bed, then that is when your loved ones can come back and give you a spiritual hug. When you're looking in a deeper meditative state, you can meet with your loved one, and perhaps you get information given to you that you weren't aware of, but other people are, and that's the element you want to look at. Because people naturally say, "Oh, they just tell me what I feel they would." They say, "Oh, I love you, I miss you." But when you get a bit of information, particularly in dreams or in the deeper meditative states, that is unknown to you consciously, that is your confirmation that your loved one was definitely there.
And I think that this is why meditation is kind of keystone really to what we do. It's the key. It's the foundation that, this is why we say meditation is a great way, because without, you can't sit there on a mobile phone and, kind of start, kind of doom scrolling through Facebook and expect to be in touch with spirit.
Well, that's it though.
And you've got TV on and your Facebook and I know, I'll send a message to Martin and Ian. I can't connect with spirit today. Well, turn off your TV, turn off your Alexa, turn off your Facebook. And
it is though, Martin. It is.
It's amazing how many people have actually wrote to us and said, I've tried connecting with my spirit guide and in meditation, and that's not working, but I'm having some really weird dreams and seeing loads of symbols and signs. And I'm thinking, that's the spirit guide in your dreams going, look, I'm here, look.
It is though, Martin, but I think giving people a gentle nudge or, talking and again, ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to this and you've got a question about your dreams or about your guides, whatever, please send Martin and I a message. We'll, one of us will get back to you, won't we, Martin?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're always interested in your experiences. We're always interested in how you're getting on in your own development. And if you need that bit of guidance, contact us through the Facebook page. And we can guide you through it. But I think it's nice to talk about dreams because, I mean, obviously they seem very prevalent at this time. They were very prevalent last year when people were talking about it. And I think it's nice to know that sometimes that when we do have interactions with the other world in our dreams, that there could be some sort of connection with the consciousness, the other world, as you can call it. But and I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think if anything, it's something to carry around with you. I know, I know I'll be thinking of my traveller family for a long time.
I know it's bizarre though, isn't it? How
it's really bizarre, bizarre. It was just so strong, and it was really funny when Ryan, I remember the names, when Ryan's dad turned up and he was kind of complaining. He said, "Oh, I hadn't seen you for ages, why don't you come over here?" And I said, "Well, I was filming Ryan playing five-a-side football on Blackpool Beach last year." It's like where has all that come from? But I think if anything, it just shows you what amazing minds and brains we've all got, I think.
Oh, definitely. How it all fascinates because your subconscious takes on everything. That is why people say, "But I saw these people in my dream and I don't recognize them." I said, "Yep, you've seen them somewhere, either when you've been going to shops, the supermarket, driving in the car, or when you've been watching telly. You got all that. You only have to look at a football stadium as it was, and it's all full, and you're taking all those faces in, and your brain will use that to colour your dreams."
Well, I always also bear in mind that sometimes that we might see faces and not realise who they are, and I always remember remember, and I'll leave everybody with this, but I remember my wife was in the latter stages of pregnancy with my youngest child, kind of getting ready, that her head was dilated. Nurse came in, and obviously you can imagine the scene. And she went, "Oh, you're Martin and Louise from Fright Nights, aren't you?" my wife could have curled up and disappeared, I think. So yeah, be kind, I think, is the thing. But yeah, I think it's weird. So yeah, please, I mean, we are going to do more on dreams, and please let us know if you'd like to. We'd love to do some more dream interpretation, and also we'll do some more exploring and explaining as well about lucid dreaming, which everybody's talking about at the moment.
Yes.
Excellent. So if you like our podcast, please click like, click subscribe, review us, or you can even buy us a coffee. If you follow the link on our podcast, you can buy us a coffee starting from $3, and that helps support our podcast and helps us continue putting out this free content and helping the thousands of people around the world. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much again, Ian. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you too, Martin, and thank you to all the listeners and supporters out there. Thank you very much for all your feedback. Very much appreciated.